Hello, welcome. And what we're now looking at here is a level 2 reformed functional skills paper for maths. So unlike the legacy papers, this has a calculator section, a non-calculator section, followed by a calculator section. So the first part will be mental arithmetic, the second part you can use your calculator. So what I'll do first is we're just going to run through the slides, so you can see the slides for the questions for this particular part. I haven't put the answers in these yet. We'll come to those in another section. But what I want you to do, the next section, what I want you to do is using a device, whether you've got a phone or a computer or tablet, take a screenshot of these question papers to go through, put the video onto pause, take your screenshots, and what I want you to do is have a go at trying to do the questions. Right, because that's going to, then you can see when we put the answers up shortly in the next section, any improvement areas that you need to make, or at least you can see what the methods are going on, so that help you with your revision and your practice. So I'm going to stop talking now. We're going to put the questions up, and then when you hear my voice next, we'll be talking through the answers. So welcome back. How did you all get on having a go at the questions? Well, let's find out. Let's have a look at the answers. Right, so question 1 is all to do with ratios. Ratios are a favourite of these types of tests. They like to bring them in. So what we actually now need to do is work out basically what one part actually is. So we add the ratios up, which is 3 plus 2 plus 1 gives us 6. And then we divide that by the 1500 millilitres, which gives us 250 millilitres. So we know one part is 250 millilitres. 2 parts of red paint we're going to need. So it's 250 times 2, or 250 plus 250 would give you 500 millilitres. Here's some information to question 2. We're estimating number of houses sold. Keyword estimating. So one approach is to look for the middle number in each category of house sold. It took me a little while to work this one out myself, but that's why now we're having these papers and I can share it with you, so we're teaching little tricks of the trade. So what we're looking at for all of these numbers of houses sold is essentially the number in the middle. So between 1 and 5, the number is going to be 3. Between 6 and 10, the number will be 8, and so on and so forth. So if you can see the number of houses column we've got on the left here, that's the number of houses we're estimating. And then it's a matter of then doing the estimated number of houses sold by the frequency. So for example, we have an estimated 3 houses sold. If we look down the bit that's 1 to 5, and that becomes 3 times 7 is 21. An estimated 8 houses sold on the bit between 6 and 10, 8 times 6 is 48, and so on and so forth. So then what we do is we add those all up. So I just want to double check what I'd actually done here. So that was just why we had the pause. So we add all of those up, which gives us 170 in total. The frequency is 20. And then what we now need to do is divide the number of estimated houses sold with the frequency. 170 divided by 20 equals 8.5. Or there are 5 20s in every 100. 3 20s and 60 plus 10, which is half, which gives you 8.5. So think about it, how many times does 20 go into 1? That's 170. It goes 8.5 times. So there's a way you can break that question down and do it. Question 3. Amanda wants to buy a new mobile phone. So really, this is where functional skills comes into its own in that respect, I suppose, is because it's getting you to do compare and contrast in potentially what could be a real life situation. So this is what you might do if you're actually looking for a mobile phone. You're trying to get the best deal. Again, the key word is estimating. So you're trying to make your life as simple as possible. So perhaps you're going to round things up into tens or nearest whole numbers. So example 59 becomes 60. 39.96 is going to perhaps become 40, and so on and so forth. So we'll look at offer A. 2 years is 24 months. Contract £59 becomes 60 because it becomes easier to work out. 60 times 24 is 1,440. One other way you could do it is 60 times 10 gives you 600. 60 times 2 is 120. And then you just add that up, which gives you a year value. You then add those two together, 720 and 720 together, which then gives you the value for 2 years. Okay. Again, little ways trying to make your life simpler. Then you just literally have the contract and mobile phone together. 1440 plus 40 gives you 1480. Remember, we're estimating, so we're keeping everything whole numbers. Then we follow through a similar process for offer B. It's still your 2 years, 24 months. Similarly, 10 times 24, 240. Or if you wish, 10 times 10 equals 100. 10 times 2 equals 20. Add those all together and you get your 240. So 240 plus 900 equals 1140. And note my deliberate error there, I left my pound sign out. So that's just showing how easy it is to leave symbols and units of measurement out when you're doing these answers. Make sure you put them in because they can potentially generate you points. So, and we add up offer A and B. We look at the difference between them, so we take them away from each other. So the answer is going to be yes at £340 with saving money on offer B. And again, what we have here, question 4, a typical functional skills question, is getting you to work out volume. So what I try to do is break this down. So again, what you're doing when you look at these questions, making sure you do a screenshot, you do a photograph of them. So then you can take this away and have a look at your own time, because that'll help you break the questions down a bit more than me trying to speak all the time. Okay, so go away and have a reflection. So you need to find the volume of the tank. 30 times 30 equals 900, or think of 3 times 3 and add 2 zeros. 90 times 100 is 90 centimeters cubed. Think 900 and bolt 2 zeros on. 1,000 centimeters equals a litre, minus 90,000 centimeters cubed divided by 1,000 centimeters equals 90 litres. Think of this as removing 3 O's. Right? The 1,000 is knocking 3 O's off you. Then think half of 90 is 45. 45 litres will be 10 gallons. Remove the decimal point to 4.5 litres. 10 gallons plus 10 gallons gives you 20 gallons. 2 fish to every gallon. 2 fish times 20 gallons equals 40 fish, so the answer is yes with 40 fish. And this again is an atypical functional skills question. It's not just about calculating a sum, it's about solving a problem. And that is the key with functional skills. A lot of it is all about solving a problem, not necessarily the maths.